guys were going quite hard from the start, with Leroy Ensley trying to animate things right from the start. And then Julian and I were able to get away. Andrew made a bit of a mistake in the one single track, and Julian and I were able to get a bit of a gap. And then we were basically together. We were working really, really well together for the entire race. I tried dropping him about 3 or 4 times up some of the climbs, but just nothing really stuck. Went straight instead of turning right. And yeah, Julian was able to get in ahead of me, and then it was a sprint finish to try and get first, and I just wasn't able to get around him. But all in all, it was a really great day.
I mainly rode with Stuart. We got a breakaway early on, and in the middle I thought, oh, maybe I've got this on Stuart, so there was a long gradual climb. But then at the end, Stuart came back with fire. I couldn't believe it.
In second place and narrowly beaten is Stuart Marais.
The start line showed off a returning to form Ty White, Stuart Marais and Matt Stamatis. Out of the first taste of single track, and already Stuart Marais was bringing the pain. A little look over his shoulder to check out the damage he was doing.
Came into this week, into the race, not quite understanding where I was going to be. I picked up a bit of flu probably last week Sunday, and also just been feeling a bit flat during the last week, and wasn't quite sure where my form would be coming into this race. So I had to play my cards quite carefully, and we just kind of sat in a big group for the first, say, 6Ks, and then the climb started, and I knew it from previous years it's quite a climb. So we went quite hard up the first steep bit, dropped a lot of the guys, and it was myself, Tyron, and Henry Liebenberg. And then I carried on pushing up the next climb, and I wasn't actually wanting to drop anybody very early in the race. But it kind of just turned out that I had a bit of a gap, so I carried on pushing, and from there I soloed towards the end. It was just a case of keeping a consistent tempo and trying to maintain or extend my lead.
Back at the sharp end of the race, and Stu was still tearing up the dirt and mud to stay ahead of Ty and Henry. Stu continued to grow his lead as the Bainsfield scenery changes from forests to open plains.
Stu's just incredibly strong, so when he went off the front, it was kind of like saying goodbye to him.
I'm quite comfortable with the long, steady climbs that this race is renowned for. There's probably around 2 or 3 really long climbs. I mean, the first climb's probably around 20 minutes or so. so it's quite a substantial climb, and I just kept a decent tempo up there, and that's where I knew that I was going to be able to make up most of my time. And then on the downhills, we've had a little bit of rain over the last 2 days, and it wasn't really wet as such. It's just it was just a little bit slippery. So I decided to keep it easy on the downhills. I have punctured here once before, so I didn't want to really risk. I mean, if I had a good gap, I didn't really want to risk punctures or anything. So I kept the downhills relatively easy, and then just went as hard as I could on the uphills. But I must say, towards the last 10 Ks, started to feel trying to push all the hills, started to get to me after a while.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Been a long time living off the wall. Years gone by that I can't recall. Runs from the rubber when I feel that rumble. One by one, gonna watch them tumble.
Once Stuart Marais hit the last avenue of trees, it was clear that there would be no sprint finish, no challenge from any contender. He had ridden the perfect race from outpacing the others up the breaker and just being too strong on the day. And as the finish line came into view, well, you know what happens next.
Winning on the 65-kilometre race, taking first place today, coming across the line, Stuart Marais. Nicely done to you.
Oh, it was a stunning course. Look, I haven't done this race probably in the last 4 or 5 years. I think 2014 was the last time that I actually came and did Bainsfield, and I thoroughly loved it. They've really done a lot of work on the course. There's a lot more single track apparently than years before. I mean, the last time I did it, there was virtually no single track. And yeah, it's just a really well-rounded course. There's a lot of climbing, a lot of descents. And although it's a 65k course, it's challenging, but it's doable for the average weekend warrior, which makes it a really stunning event for guys to come out and do.
Good job to the top 10 men. Stuart Marais on the top step.